guys, my voice is a little bit off key because I went to the Panthers Falcons game and I was screaming my lungs out. So please pardon me in this video. But in this video, I'm going to talk about what happened in the game, recap everything from both sides, give what I thought good and bad on both sides for offense and defense. Let's go ahead and get into it. We're starting right now. What up, dude? What's up, everybody? It's Aaron Duncan here with the Necessary Bluntness Sports Talk. It's a channel that might not tell you what you want to hear. I'm definitely going to tell you what you need to hear. If it's your first time here, I give recap and analysis of the best division in the NFL, the NFC South. So if you want to see more videos about the Bucs, the Panthers, the Saints, or the Falcons, hit the subscribe button below right now, guys. Give the video a thumbs up. But you guys know I got to get your input about the game. The question of the day, what did you think about the game? What did you think about the way Cam Newton played? What did you think about the way Matt Ryan played? Were you surprised by how bad the Panthers defense played? And what did you think about all the injuries, man? Did you think they would play a bigger factor in the game? Let me know down below in the comments your thoughts. So like I said, I went to the game, man, and that's why I was kind of behind getting everything going. I was kind of out of it once I got home and I really went to sleep because I was so tired, man. It was a long day. I got up early, was tailgating. All that 9 yards. I'll post some more footage and maybe that later. However, I'm going to start with the Falcons side. Of course, I'll go with the offense. So, good things. I mean, Devonta Freeman didn't start, so we were curious to see what happened. A lot of fans think that Tevin Coleman is better suited for this system because he can make those cuts like Devonta Freeman also in that one-cut zone system, but he's also a bigger play threat because of speed, and that showed yesterday. He was able to cut back against the grain, the ability to cut back against the grain and get a lot of yards. He was the first running back to have 100 yards on the Panthers in 22 games. Not to mention it was only his second career 100-yard game, so that was big to see. That balance helped set up the play action for everything. You see the 4 bootlegs they ran. The dump-off guy was wide open, whether it was Hooper, Paulson, or whoever was coming across the formation was wide open pretty much on those play actions. So that balance allowed them to be able to set up play action and help everything else work, which is kind of what we saw the year that they had success in 2016, the play action. Calvin Ridley got his first career touchdown. He had 4 catches, 64 yards. He had a nice kick return, so it was good to see him finally get in the end zone there. He had a pretty good sweep move on Dante Jackson on that post route. That's what you get from him, man. He's not as amazing or explosive after the catch, but he's a very polished route runner. Kind of the complete opposite of what you saw on DJ Moore on the Panthers side, who's better after the catch and a better playmaker in space. But in this offense, is more pro style. You would probably take Calvin Ridley for those things that you saw him do yesterday. But Tevin Coleman, what a great game. He had 100 yards on like his first 12 carries. It was great to see him be that explosive. Ito Smith showed some good wiggle in there as a change of pace. That compared his run style a little bit more to Freeman, so they kind of said that they paired up well. What does that mean for Devonta going forward? I don't know. Dan Quinn came out today, said that report that Devonta Freeman was going to be out a couple weeks was false. He's day-to-day, so we'll see what happens with that rotation going forward. I'm sure they'll keep Tevin as a starter as they go up against the Saints this week, but we will see. But offensively, you can't be mad at Matt Ryan had 4 total touchdowns. The red zone, 4 for 4 from the red zone. It seems like they exercise those demons. We'll see if they can keep it up. The Panthers, they pretty much have the Panthers' number when it comes to their offense. They're good at getting the ball out quick. The Panthers had 6 sacks last week against the Cowboys, and they had 0 today versus the Falcons. So you got to be happy with the way the O-line protected, especially on the interior with Dontari Poe and KK Short. Defensively, they played okay. They came out. The third quarter is really when they kind of imposed their will and got enough stops for their offense to take control. Duke Riley moved over to the middle. He was out of place a few times. He missed some tackles. But Dan Quinn says that everybody that's played inside linebacker for him in the system had a learning curve. Deion Jones had it. Guys like that had it. We saw DeMonte KZ get kicked out. We saw Ricardo Allen have to kind of switch from free to strong during the game, and he did a good job of helping get everybody set up and being kind of a shot caller in that back end. Pressure-wise, I think Tech had a sack or 2. Did a pretty good job getting home there, taking advantage of a undermanned Carolina O-line. But Cam Newton pretty much had a great game through the air, though. That's kind of one thing that you want to do. That prevent defense towards the end that people are calling it, I don't think it was really prevent. They just weren't being as aggressive as they were earlier in the game. So You don't want to be too crazy about that, but they took advantage of the opportunities they had. That pick by Ricardo Allen was huge, and that pretty much stopped some momentum the Panthers had to come answer. But overall, you got to be happy with the Falcons played. Now let's move on to the Panthers. I'll try to keep it brief so I don't get into too much complaining because I have a lot on my mind. Offensively, I'm not sure why North Turner wanted to go away from C.J. Anderson in the run game early. As soon as he got hot and going, they pulled him out the game. And then I know he dropped a couple checkdowns. He's supposed to be a pretty good receiver, and I know you don't want to be predictable. I think I get pretty frustrated with the Panthers because they hear all this stuff from the outside media saying that they're so predictable because like last year when Jonathan Stewart was in, they knew where they were running. And when Christian McCaffrey was in there, they knew they were passing. However, if it's working, don't go away from it. You try to mix it up, leave C.J. Anderson at some passing plays. Cam did a good job of throwing to the check down all day. Maybe it's OD. You hear all the talk about Cam wanting to get his completion percentage up to upper 60%, and that's not winning us a game, obviously. So why turn him into check down Cam or Alex Smith 2.0 throwing to Christian McCaffrey 14 times when old style we played with actually won us games? Yes, they did a great job of moving the ball late in the game. That third quarter lull is pretty much what killed us. That score before half and that third quarter little dry spell pretty much what separated the game, allowing Carolina to get, allowing the Falcons to score twice and make it a 2-possession game. Yes, they came down, answered one time, but that drive, that game became halted because of C.J. Anderson. It sucked. I'm proud of the O-line. Great. Chris Clark, he was watching the Cowboys. He was watching the Panthers play the Cowboys last week on his couch. He came in, started, had a great game. He had maybe 1 or 2 missed blocks and gave up a sack, but I'll live with that. We could have run blocked a little bit better, but I still like what we did. We kind of didn't stay with the run a lot. Like I said, I need to give C.J. Anderson more touches, at least 10 carries, I think. Christian McCaffrey, he had 14 catches on 15 targets. Like I said, I think that's OD. I like giving him the ball, and I like taking what the defense is giving him, but it seemed like Cam sometimes was predetermined to give it to him as soon as he saw the linebackers drop back. So I don't want our offense to be predicated on that, but it was good to see Cam bounce back after getting cheap shotted by DeMonte KZ, and he had to throw a touchdown on that drive. Jarius Wright came up big. Torrey Smith had a few catches, even though I was pissed off at the 2 false starts he had. But he came to Cam's defense. He ended up bouncing back, catching a touchdown. There was a DJ Moore sighting. He finally got a ball, his first career catch, went for a touchdown. We got to see more DJ Moore. I hate to be cliche. I know everybody's been saying it all day. He's explosive. Ron Rivera came out today, said they're going to give him more. They tried to put too much on his plate, so they weren't sure how ready he was. Clearly he's ready. Can't just give him a ball on handoffs and screens. Give this man plays to make. He exploded for 55 yards with a stiff arm in the middle linebacker. This is the potential this guy has. Like I was saying about Calvin Ridley. He's not as polished as Calvin Ridley as far as the route tree, but he's a playmaker, and that's what Carolina needs. But it was good to see Cam get all the receivers involved. The numbers were good, so the people are going to say, oh, Cam played great this game. This is what we need to see from Cam. But if you've been watching the Panthers for years, you know that it isn't like a great formula to win for me. Yeah, I don't want Cam throwing 45 times a game. We should be running the ball and be a little bit more balanced than that. So I expect more defensively, bad tackling. They look tired. Luke missed tackles. The secondary missed tackles. There was some BS pass interference call by Dante Jackson, but Dante Jackson had a rough go. He got his first career pick, which was big, but we can't do nothing with it offensively. He got juked out of his shoes by Tevin Coleman, but you got to appreciate the hustle. He left with a hamstring. He said there's no way he's missing next week, so I expect to see him back. The pass rush was non-existent. That pissed me off. We got a bunch of old guys up front on the edges and guys that we need some more speed. They put Marquise Haynes in there, probably get a change of pace, but we'll see. Julius Peppers, they said his reps were kind of low. That was because they weren't sure if he was ready to be in shape or not because he missed all the training camp and preseason. I say throw him to the Wolves, let him get in shape during the game. I know he's old, but you can manage his reps. Marquise Haynes, he's a pure pass rusher. I like to see him get a little bit more reps, see what he can do. But we got to be better at linebacker. This is probably one of the Shaq. He was quiet this game. Luke made some plays, but he missed some tackles, and the lineman did a good job of getting him blocked. The D-line has to be better, period. They have to keep Luke clean so he can run sideline to sideline and make those tackles. I need more from Shaq. We actually missed Thomas Davis this game. They had Shaq playing that weak side linebacker a little bit more. He's the one that got burnt by Hooper. Usually that might be Thomas Davis. You would think Shaq Thompson would be a better defensive guy because he plays safety. However, that wasn't the case. I don't know. The red zone defense was garbage. This was not a good game. Ron Rivera was pissed and disappointed. Eric Washington was pissing disappointed. They said there's going to be some changes up front, period. I mean, with the defense, period. So we'll see what happens with those changes that they're talking about. I know we lost Cersei during the game to another concussion. So we'll see if Golden gets that start at safety next week. This is Cersei's second concussion since the preseason. So he may be done for a while, guys. So we'll see what we do with answers there. We may go to free agency. Who knows what happens there? But like I said, you guys let me know down below in the comments what you thought about the game. I'm disappointed, man. It was a bad loss. However, if you told me that the Panthers are going to be missing 4 starting offensive linemen, Greg Olsen, Thomas Davis being out, and they still have a chance to win the game on the last play of the game or tie the game on the last play of the game, I would take it. I picked the Falcons anyway in this game just because I thought the injury was going to be too much. But you guys let me know down below in the comments what you thought. I'm Aaron Duncan signing off for the Necessary Bluntness Sports Talk. You hear my voice is going out, man. I can't take it anymore. I'm out of here.